I'm absolutely not interested in the idea of character and characterization. I'm interested in what is real and what really happens to people and what really happens to me and the experiences that I go through. And I know that by me making work out of the experiences that I go through, that also facilitates other people totally connecting and making realizations or understanding something or coming to terms with something or investigating something as a result of me holding that up. I use it in my work in some very obvious ways. An audience with Adrienne, totally autobiographical. I had a persona, Adrienne, where I dyed my hair, had makeup and wore women's clothes. A very particular persona, but not a character at all, because it was me. I just happened to be dressed as a woman. But I would share autobiographical stories with people. It's always drawn from my actual life. It's not about drawing it from somebody else's life or making something up. It is true to say that this is very new territory for a lot of people in terms of it not being in a conventional theatre space, in terms with what they're being asked to engage with, which is usually pretty interactive. What I try to do, because I really understand that this is a very alien setup for a lot of people and a very alien environment. Right from the start, in any of my pieces of work, I say to the audience participant, if there's anything I'm asking you to do or you think I'm asking you to do that you don't feel comfortable with, you must say, because you have agency in this piece of work. And I think that's really important to stress that in a one-to-one, because a lot of people that come to one-to-ones think that they have to be complicitous with whatever I or other one-to-one performers are asking them to do, and feel that they mustn't in some way ruin the piece of artwork because they're not agreeing and going along, and that they don't just relinquish their power and their control over their lives when they come through the threshold of a performance space with me. Because I feel that it's only by them being genuinely comfortable and relaxed that we have a meaningful exchange, and that there is that equality of exchange. I had been really imbued with this idea that there was something about the alleviating of shame and guilt through speaking it and hearing it that validated it as confessional. But actually, in my research, what I discovered was that there are such things as non-verbal confessions or conversations happening between two people. From the moment the person starts the experience and I invite them to take off their shoes and socks, they reveal so much to me. A lot of people automatically start to put their feet, curl their feet back under the chair, and they start to apologize to me about the state of their feet. The way they respond to me holding them and touching them, they reveal so much to me. Through the foot massage, which is silent, there are things that are communicated through their feet to my hands, and that might sound a bit wacky, but it is to do with energy and kind of rhythms and pulses and what have you that are happening in their feet, but they're revealing about how they're feeling about me touching them. I think I've become quite experienced now through touching people, learning about them through touch, and that actually the need for any kind of verbal communication would kind of bottom out. So that's why I began to explore the potential for silence to allow people to go deeper into themselves in a way, and therefore to kind of reveal something deeper through a bodily exchange or through an eye contact exchange. In terms of actually where my work's going in the future, I feel that I've kind of almost come to the end of what I want to explore in one-to-one. And yeah, I am going to be doing a piece this summer which is about bathing people in a bath and then wrapping them in a towel and feeding them and then kind of holding them for a prolonged period of time, which is about deeply nurturing and nourishing somebody, actually infantilizing them in order to give them that experience. And I think, well, where do you go after that? You know, I've washed people's feet, I've given head massages, I've done all sorts of bodily contact things. Bathing people seems to be like an ultimate in some way. And I don't just want to push it for the sake of pushing it, you know. And so I feel it's reaching a conclusion for me. And it's very interesting that I'm being commissioned to create a new piece next year for the Arches Theatre in Glasgow. And I've automatically started to plan that that is a communal experience, activity. And I'm going to be working with elderly people and people without Alzheimer's. And it's about helping them to access their childhood memories of their summers. And I've already decided that it's going to be round a communal swimming pool. And there's going to be a point where everybody's going to be invited to get into the pool with me. And we will have very much a kind of celebratory communal experience in that pool. So possibly, you know, returning more to that idea of what is theatre about and what's the collective experience about.